What are we going to talk about? And why are we talking about it?
Today we're going to talk about buying a boat out of the country. We've had several questions online about it, so we thought we would finally, because they asked them a long time ago, finally get to some of those questions. So, first off, talk about our broker. How did we find our broker?
I'm trying to think, how did we find our broker?
You watched them on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yacht International. And he puts out, there's two guys. One guy's Rudy, and the other guy's is Sarah's looking it up.
I'm gonna Google it.
But anyways, he has a little YouTube channel, and he puts out little hints of how to buy a boat, when to buy a boat, and he does little YouTube videos, 5 minutes long, and talks about the buying process. So, and he has like a 5-page buying guide of how to buy a boat. So I watched his videos, emailed him, and he emailed back with all that information. Got hold of him and worked with him and Rudy, and I was in touch with them for probably about a year, going back and forth, and we met with them 2 or 3 times down in Fort Lauderdale, and looked at different kinds of boats. And of course, we've been to boat shows before. We knew what size of boat we wanted, about what size, anywhere from like 39 feet to like 45. And depending on the year, you go short, a smaller boat, you can probably get a newer boat, or you can have a larger boat. With our money, you can have a larger boat and it would be older. So we opted to go a little bit smaller and go about as new as we could. So our boat's a 2017 Lagoon 39.
I didn't find it, but I just randomly remember stuff. Was it Gary?
Yes. Nice. Ding, ding, you win.
And Gary's the owner, right?
Yeah, Gary's the owner, and Rudy's works for him.
And we worked mostly with Rudy.
Yeah, and he's a character. He's fun. He's from probably somewhere in the... Where's he from?
I don't know.
Maybe somewhere in the South America.
We'll tag
I don't
him
know.
so he can tell us.
Yeah, so anyways,
so searching for the boat, it was very helpful that we knew when it came time, because we prepared for this for a while.
And we looked for at least 6 months. So when the right deal did come along, we knew if it was a good deal or not.
We knew that we wanted a Leopard or a Lagoon, and we kind of knew we wanted 39 would be the smallest to a 42. Is that right?
Yeah, we really like the 42s. They're the 420s, 421s. But the 42s were really nice, but right now those are still hard to come by. So,
but based on our budget, we knew we could handle a 39 owner's version.
Yeah.
It had to be an owner's, or we weren't gonna feel like we had enough room to live on it. So
why
Rudy,
did we buy out of the country?
Well, because Rudy called us and he said, "Here's a boat," and we said, "Ooh, we love it." So,
would you recommend other people buying out of the U.S.? Well, this is just we're based out of the U.S. So would you recommend other people buying out of the U.S.?
Yes.
How far out of the way would you go?
I'd go anywhere.
Be right back. Let her talk.
I would go anywhere to buy a boat.
Sorry, I had to take that. Had a phone call about boat insurance. We might be switching to State Farm because they've been giving some really good quotes lately for catamarans. And so I wanted to talk to her. And so if we do change, we'll let you guys know.
Okay, so we were talking about, you asked me if I would still recommend buying a boat out of the country. My answer is yes, definitely. Only, I would take a surveyor with me that I knew and trusted. You want to talk about our survey?
Well, the survey they got for us, our broker found the survey, and the guy actually lived in the Miami area. So he contracted some people in Colombia. We bought the boat in Cartagena, Colombia, they weren't official surveyors, but they took everything apart and tapped on this, and they took tons of pictures, and then they sent it over to the actual surveyor guy in Miami. But they missed all kinds of things. They missed lines, they missed inoperative instruments, our wind meter. 4 of our lines need to be replaced, but I also looked at the boat and caught that and had them replace that.
So I think the big thing is when you have your survey done, get somebody that you trust. We didn't know these people, and we found out later that this was the way it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a horrible survey.
Yeah.
They missed a lot of things that we could have negotiated the price with. But that was our fault.
Is it still worth buying it out of the country, even though? How much do you think you spent extra getting stuff that should have been fixed before we?
I don't know. You're in charge of that.
I would say
the biggest thing was our spreaders.
Yeah, our spreaders had a little crack in it that we found out about. Well, actually, we knew about it, but we didn't know about it taking the survey.
No.
And that might have been about $5,000 right there to get the spreader sent there, and had the rigger. The rigger cost. Might have spent an extra. Maybe at the most, the spreaders, like I said, were about $5,000. So maybe at the most, $5,000 getting everything else fixed. So total $10,000. Which our broker told us, since we bought it in Cartagena, Colombia, was about $100,000 cheaper buying it down there than if he were to bring it up and sell it in Fort Lauderdale. So we're still way ahead of the game.
So, based on our survey, the price we negotiated, we really didn't change the price after the survey. She just fixed things that we requested to be fixed.
Yeah.
So she fixed the lines.
4 lines.
Something else? Wasn't there something else she fixed?
Some of the lights I think weren't working.
And the fans.
And the fans, so they got those working for us. But what they didn't find, and they probably didn't test it, our deep freezer wasn't working. Our oven and propane stove wasn't working. Now I fixed that. Our deep freezer, we got it fixed for free down in Key West. So that
by a very nice company called Mobile Marine. I think it was Mobile Marine.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
So other things, buying a boat out of the country. We had a couple of nights we were down there while we went and looked at it and had a survey done at a hotel. But in Colombia, the hotels, like we have said, are cheap and they're very nice. So we were like $45 a night. So that wasn't a big deal. Other countries, that might be another issue of you've got to pay for a hotel. We did have to pay airline tickets, which is probably typical, same price wherever.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap flying down to Cartagena. It's not that expensive.
No, it wasn't that bad. So,
what else you got? Now,
I had another sticky note, and he only brought me the one.
Now, if you do buy, in another country, if you're new to boat sailing, I don't think I'd go buy it in the Maldives or anything, or in Spain. I mean, it's hard to lug everything over there, and of course, we were going to go down there, have someone go with us, sail it back up. It's going to take like 2-3 weeks, but we ended up 2 months down in Cartagena, and they don't speak English. It's only Spanish, so that made it really difficult.
We don't speak Spanish.
But it was an adventure. Would I do it again? Yes. I wouldn't. I mean, first 2 weeks were great. After 2 months of being in Cartagena, where it was dusty and the boat was dirty, it's like every other day you had to wash it. But
I think mostly, though, we were ready to be out sailing, and we were stuck in the marina because things that the survey missed.
Yeah.
And we stayed put in the marina for the workers to come work on the boat, so we didn't even get to go out on it. And we kind of got tired of being there, but I think it's because we were so ready to get going.
Yeah. And you're always going to find stuff that the surveyor didn't find. Like our door is so hard to open right now. I'm afraid if I go to someone else's catamaran, I'm probably going to open the door and slide it right off or something. I mean, you really got to tug and drag.
We're pausing for the train to go by. So
train coming by in Brunswick.
Can we call this a train break?
Yep, go grab something to eat. On a last note, we'll talk about the marina we were at when we were down in Cartagena, Colombia. You remember what it's called?
Keep talking, I'll think of it.
It costs about $1,300 a month, and that was usually with electric. And there's a lot of people, labor's cheap down there. So if you do buy it out of country, you know, labor was very affordable. It's just getting parts. Parts were hard to get. And people kind of show up, half of them just kind of show up when they want to. They say they're going to be there tomorrow morning, and it's, you know, they get there at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's the train. You can hear it now.
So I guess that's an extra added cost because we had planned on we bought the boat in September and we didn't move on until February, so we planned on paying that marina cost. But then we had an extra 2 months added on because we stayed in the marina longer, and we didn't get to leave after the 2 weeks when we were there. So.
Well, I hope that answered your questions. Financing, of course, if you're going to buy a boat, have that all preset and ready to go. We just paid cash for ours. We saved up for a long time. You know, we worked on this for 5 years before we bought our boat, so we had everything in order. So just have all your ducks in order and make buying process. Like when he told us, our broker told us about the boat, we knew exactly what it was and about how much it was worth, and we knew it was a good deal. So we immediately put an offer in before we even saw the boat, to be the first one to put an offer in and work out a deal so you can buy the boat. That's how we got our boat. This was basically the first boat we looked at. There's a lot of people that fly all over the world looking for boats to get their boats not what they expected. We got lucky that this boat was in clean shape. The engines were low hours, 700 hours, 600 hours on, you know, one, 700 hours on the other. It ran good. The sails were in good shape. So the big ticket items, you know, were in good condition.
And one more thing, had we had a good survey, I still think we would have bought the boat.
Oh yeah.
We might have negotiated the price a little more, but we still would have purchased this boat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's been a good adventure.
Else?
So any other questions, just leave us a comment and we'll try to answer it maybe a little bit more timely matter than 3-4 months later.
I think it's been a little longer, but we lose track of time.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, we're off to have fun at the Annapolis Boat Show.
Yeah, we're going to go to the Annapolis Boat Show this weekend with some friends and just look around. We really don't need to buy anything. We're just going to go up there and have some fun. We just
enjoy being there and seeing everybody.
Yeah, maybe we'll see some other cruisers.
We are going to miss Mike and Lisa not being there.
Yeah.
We'll see everybody else at the boat show.